Welcome to Mobile Home Friend YouTube channel, your go-to resource for everything manufactured housing.
Welcome to another deep dive from Mobile Home Friend. Today we're looking at a crucial topic for any mobile home investor or owner, based on our latest research at mobilehomefriend.com. We're talking about how to avoid what we call the $2,400 window mistake. It's honestly one of the biggest and most common profit killers in mobile home renovation. So, this number, $2,400. What is it? Well, it's the average cost of a huge and, often completely unnecessary job when you're replacing windows. It's the price tag for tearing out your walls when you probably don't have to, and believe me, it can sink a renovation budget before you even get off the ground. And this quote right here, it really gets to the heart of the matter. Our founder, Chuck O'Dell, has seen this exact mistake cost investors thousands and thousands over his 23 years of flipping homes. The key takeaway is just so simple. Unless you have active, spreading rot, don't perform major surgery on a window opening that already has good bones. Okay, so let's really break down what this mistake is all about. We call it the profit killer for a reason. It's not just about the cost of some extra 2x4s. It's about a massive spike in labor and time, and honestly, in the risk of creating even more problems down the line. Now, what's so interesting here is the fundamental difference in approach. On the left, a full reframe is, it's invasive. You're tearing out studs, siding, drywall, the whole shebang. It's a huge project. But on the right, the no reframe method is all about precision. It's about using the existing perfectly good opening to install a new, efficient window. It's surgical, not destructive. But of course, you can't just slap a new window in and hope for the best, right? The entire no reframe strategy hangs on a few critical checks you have to do before you even think about placing an order. This is what we call the forensic phase. And here it is. This is the $1 million question, or at least the $2,400 question. Everything, and I mean everything, hinges on this. If the answer is yes, you save a fortune. If it's no, then reframing becomes a necessary repair, not just some elective upgrade. So how do you know? So the first major disqualifier is something called racking. It's a funny word, but it's a serious problem. As a home settles, a perfectly square window opening can get pushed into more of a parallelogram shape. If your diagonal measurements are off by more than 3/8 of an inch, a standard window just won't fit right. You're going to get leaks, stress cracks in the glass. It's just a mess. The second critical check is for moisture. We use a pinless moisture meter to check the wood sill, and if that moisture content, or MC, is above 15%, that wood is compromised. Driving screws into wet, spongy wood is like building a house on a foundation of sand. It just won't hold, and you're sealing in a future rot problem. Now, just look at this cost breakdown for a second. The window itself, even a really nice one, is only part of the story. The biggest variable here, the real wild card, is labor. A pro install can run up to $500 a window, and that's before any reframing. The second you start tearing out walls, that number just skyrockets. This is exactly where your budget gets destroyed. So let's assume you're framing past the test. It's square, it's dry, awesome. Now you can move forward with the efficient, no reframe installation. Let's just walk through the high-level protocol, because a methodical approach here is what saves you from total disaster. Okay, these are the 4 crucial phases. First, you inspect. Second, you measure, obsessively, and you order a window that's 1/4 inch smaller than your smallest measurement. Third, you dry fit it, shimming it perfectly level before any sealant touches the wall. And finally, you seal and fasten it correctly. As we noting on the site, there's a full 13-step technical protocol on mobilehomefriend.com that breaks this down in way more detail. All right, so knowing the right steps is one thing, but it's just as important to know how to avoid the common pitfalls that can turn a simple window job into a leaky, expensive nightmare. So here are the top 5 ways people mess this up. Over-tightening screws. It feels strong, right? But it actually warps the frame and creates gaps in your seal. Skipping shims puts all the window's weight on the screws, which causes it to sag. And please, for the love of all that is holy, do not use cheap silicone. It fails. Use polyurethane. And never, ever seal those little weep holes at the bottom. They're there to let water out. Okay, now for the best part. If you do this right, it's not just an expense, it's one of the smartest investments you can possibly make in your property. Let's talk about the return on that investment, the ROI.
So right off the bat, by avoiding a reframe, you can save up to 65% on installation labor. For a whole house job, we're talking thousands of dollars that stay in your pocket or, better yet, go toward higher quality windows.
And this is the investment that pays you back over and over again. Upgrading from those old, leaky aluminum windows to modern, argon-filled low-E vinyl units, it will absolutely slash your heating and cooling costs. Over a decade, that can easily add up to nearly $5,000 in savings. It's a no-brainer. And here it is, the magic number. When you combine the huge labor savings, the long-term energy efficiency, and the increased appraisal value from modern, functional windows, the data on the Mobile Home Friend website shows an average ROI of 150% at resale. It's an upgrade that truly pays for itself, and then some. This quote from the article really says it all, doesn't it? That incredible ROI we just talked about is only possible through the no reframe method. The second you start unnecessary, expensive reframing, poof, that entire financial advantage just vanishes. Technical precision directly translates to profit. So, the final question is pretty simple. Are you ready to adopt a smarter approach? One that focuses on enhancing what's already there, saving you thousands of dollars, and dramatically boosting your home's value and comfort. Thanks for watching. For more guides and the full article on this topic, head over to mobilehomefriend.com. Don't forget to check the links in the description below.
Thanks for watching. For more technical guides on this topic, click the link to see the in-depth article over at mobilehomeframe.com. There are many more informational dives into manufactured home topics to investigate and keep your project moving forward.